everybody, welcome. My name is Summalea and I'm going to be your yoga teacher for today's practice where we are actually going to be doing a headstand tutorial. Really fun, really exciting. Now we are going to be doing an interlace headstand. So there's two types you see commonly in a yoga practice, which is the tripod headstand where you balance on your head, your hands are back underneath your shoulders. But I've chosen the interlace headstand because I find it a little bit more secure and safe. There's a lot more strength coming through your shoulders as well, and it was my first headstand that I learnt when I got into yoga. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can either watch it on your way to work if you're sitting on a train or bus and just pick up some tips to practice when you are on your mat, or you can come alongside me, come onto your mat and have some fun. Now, before we do move into it, I have a few tips and tricks that I just want to go through before we begin. The first one I want to speak about is safety. So just making sure your space around you is nice and safe. If you do have a family member or a friend around that can help you and spot you doing this practice, please get them to watch. If you don't, maybe do this closer to a wall so if you do fall out of it, your legs can catch you. And then secondly, I really want you to make sure your body is warm. It's so important. So we're going to do a few movements to warm up, but I have already done a yoga practice before coming to my mat here to teach you guys this headstand. So if you haven't done any yoga, any movement today and you're feeling quite stiff and cold through your body, I have put a link in the comments below for you to do a quick warm up, 10 to 15 minutes, or you can head over to my channel where I've got lots of different options. So pop over there, warm up, and then come back here. Now, we are moving into our interlace headstand. So before we begin, I just want you to put your hands onto your knees and we're just going to move through some cats and cows, just seated. Inhale to open your chest and exhale to roll through your spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. There's some gentle movements moving into our upper body. So this headstand, we do use a lot of our shoulder strength. And then releasing your shoulders back and down, bring your right ear to your right shoulder, roll your chin to your chest, left ear comes to your left shoulder, rolling through your neck, creating some space here. And then just bringing your head back to center. I just want you to roll through your arms, big circles, backwards, and then forward. So just a little bit of movement before we begin. Alrighty. Alright, this is exciting. I hope you're excited to do this, and don't be nervous. Alright, I'm going to give you those steps to just slowly progress. Alright, so you don't have to come into a headstand today if that's not where you're at, but you can practice some of the first few steps that I teach you. Now, the key to success here is to make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders when you come up into your headstand. So we're going to hug our elbows out in front, and as you can see, my elbows are in line with my shoulders. So giving them a hug and then releasing your hands, allowing your fingers to clasp together. So like this little triangle shape, you're going to lower them down to your mat. Now here you want your elbows underneath your shoulders. When we tend to come up into our headstand, you might find that your elbows widen a little bit. And to be honest with you, I don't mind if they do, but I want you to be really aware and active here. Really trying to suck them in and keep them stable. But if they do slide out, it's normal, it's completely fine. Don't be too worried about it. So once again, hug your elbows, release your hands, clasp them together, and then lower them down onto your mat. Step 2 is to bring your head down to the floor. You're going to rest it in this little half moon shape that your hands have created. Now, I was taught to put the palm of your hand on your eyebrows, release your middle finger to the top of your head, and that's where you want your head to be balancing. Come down to the mat. Or, if it sounds a little bit easier, bring your hairline down to the floor. So coming through those steps again, lower down, and bring your hairline, the top of your head down to the mat. Now this may take a few goes to feel comfortable. So just taking your time here to arrive, you'll know if it feels right. You don't want to tuck your chin too far to your chest, that will add a lot of pressure to your neck, and you don't want to be like arching like this in your headstand either. So nice long spine. Hands to your elbows, release your grip, lower down, your head comes down to the floor. From here, we're going to shift our body weight forward. See how my glutes come over the top of my knees. Then you're going to tuck your toes, raise your bottom to the ceiling. It's like a downward facing dog, walking your feet in as close as you can. Now this comes into the range of flexibility and mobility you have in your hamstrings and your hips. Lower down if you're with me there. So if you are someone that's quite long and mobile in your legs, you might find this a little bit easier, but not to worry if you're a little bit tight through your legs, through your hips. We still can work on our headstands. But when it does come to this, it is like a full circle. You need to always practice your stretching, you need to practice your flexibility, your strength, your core work to hold yourself steady in your headstand. Now let's come back to it. So once again, hands to elbows, release your grip, lower down, head comes down to the mat, lift your hips and walk your feet in as far as possible. Now here I just want you to bend one knee, lower it down, bend the other knee, lower it down. Now if you'd like to come into your headstand, really gracefully lifting off your knees, coming into this tuck position. Now that might be enough and you can lower back down one leg and the next, or from your tuck position, I want you to just slowly lift your legs to the ceiling. Feel that length through your body, your whole legs, glutes, toes, feet are all active. Suck it all in. A few breaths here, and then gently lower down one knee, then the next, coming down to the mat, and just counterbalancing in your child's pose. Well done. If you got up, and if you didn't, that's okay as well. We're just practicing here. This is the point of the tutorial. And gently coming all the way back up. Roll your shoulders back and down. So we're going to come into this again. Now, if you are someone that's quite flexible and you usually come into your headstand by kicking up into a split, fantastic. It looks beautiful. It feels really good. But I really encourage you to come through this tuck position because going back to it, it really focuses on your core, the strength through your whole body. Alrighty, so we're going to practice it again. Hands come to your shoulders. Release your grip. Lower down to the mat. Head finds the mat. Take your time to arrive here. Hips are high. Come into that downward facing dog pose. Walk your feet as close as possible. When you're ready, either practicing just bringing those knees into your chest and balancing here, or guiding them up to the sky. Really strong through your legs. Ooh, I'm wobbling here. So don't let go of your belly, your legs like I just did then. You saw it in action. When you let your body go floppy, you sort of fall out. And that's okay. And when you're ready, you've taken a few breaths here, really slowly coming down either by splitting your legs or coming into that tuck. Counterbalance here. Beautiful. Slowly rolling up. Now that is our headstand. It's our interlaced headstand. I want you to practice those few things that I mentioned. So making sure shoulders, elbows, all in a line. Really push the floor away with your hands. Make sure your head's in that comfy position. So I don't want you to, you shouldn't be aching through your neck. It should feel normal. It should feel quite nice and light. When you're up in your headstand, you need to be active. Don't be floppy. You saw it in action. I let go of my core and my legs went bleh. Alrighty, so nice and strong. And also, when you come back down, always coming into your child's pose. Now, there is many drills out there that you can do to practice the strength in your headstand. But honestly, the best thing to do is just come back into your headstand and continuously practice these steps. Now, if you are at home and you have someone helping you and supporting you, I'll just show you the best way to do it. So if you are supporting someone, make sure your legs are quite wide. You don't want to be standing completely over them. They're going to fall onto you and that might hurt. So I want you to come to the side of your mat, bend through your knees. Be nice and steady here. When they come onto their head and they're playing with their balance, I want you to hold them on their hip crease, along here. Holding them, supporting them here. When you're ready and they are ready, you're communicating here, gently lift them up. Make sure that they're using their strength, you're not forcing back. When they come up and you think they're ready to extend their legs, you can just hold them like this, or you can even use a leg to support their back. Whatever feels best. Once they're up here, I want you to put your hands in between their legs and tell them to squeeze and activate whilst they're up there. Really practicing this. Holding here, and if they're ready and you can feel that they're stable, you can release their legs and step back. Only if they're ready. So that's for your supporter, your family member, your loved one, anyone that's around. So, yes. This is our headstand. I hope you enjoy. It is our interlace headstand. Maybe later on we'll go through a tripod headstand just so you can see the difference. But this is how you begin to bring this into your yoga flow. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've had fun, a little bit of a laugh, and feel free to stay a little bit longer on your mat to practice this. And like always, I love to hear from you guys. So make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and if you do try this and you post it on your Instagram story, make sure you tag me in it, so it's just at Summalea, because I would love to see your progress. So I'll see you next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed. All my love. Bye now.